Hello, everybody. Welcome out to the Dice Tower. I'm Chris Yee, today's prognosticator of the 10 best, most robust, fantastically rewarding games that will be coming out in 2025, as per the limited information I have to make this list. So, here's some guesswork. Let's go. So whenever we make these lists, there's a lot of guesswork, right? We don't know everything. Some of these we've kind of played or maybe demoed or done a live play sponsored on the channel or something like that. So some of these you know a little bit about or have actually touched and held and looked into. But a lot of these are just ones that kind of catch my eye. I'm going off of publisher's history, designer's history, good pedigree with some of these. So these are games that I feel very good about, that I should be enjoying, that'll come out this year. But I'm going to put a little caveat in here. I tried to focus my actual 10 picks here on games that I feel very secure are coming out. So with that, I'm going to mention some honorable mentions up front here before I go into the 10 through 1, because I'm not sure that these will guaranteed come out this year. Dante Inferno. This is going to be from Creative Studios. This is a cool boss battler that we did a live play of. Sweet Lands looks incredibly interesting. A very heavy, involved Euro game with a cool theme from Uchibakoya. We got Ada's Dream, which is coming out from Alley Cat Games, and this one looks like a nice, involved, big board, a lot going on. So these are a lot of the heavier games that I am really looking forward to this year, but I don't know if they'll be coming out. And then Misfit Heroes, Phil Walker Harding game from AEG. So, with that, let's go into the actual 10 here. Starting at number 10, this is Kinfire Council. This one was a crowdfunding project earlier, but Incredible Dream has a good history of bringing out projects, I think, on time. So I feel good about including this one. This looks interesting. It looks like a worker placement game where you're trying to rebuild a city. It has some familiar notes from Lords of Waterdeep, so Kevin Wilson's done a great job with the series so far, and this one is the most different. Instead of kind of being like a delve or boss battler, dungeon crawler fighter thing, this is a worker placement game. Looks like it's going to be fairly straightforward, but have some interesting notes of intrigue, and it looks like some of the best parts of Lords of Waterdeep, honestly, kind of put together in a little more modern package. And Incredible Dream has done good stuff so far, and heard nothing but good about the old Kinfire series, so I'm interested in this one. Number 9 for me is Great Western Trail El Paso. I'm a big fan of many of the designs from Alexander Pfister. Strangely, not the original Great Western Trail, so I know that he's working with the co-designer on this one, and together they've made kind of a streamlined, shorter package, and I wonder if I'll enjoy the systems in a smaller kind of a setting. So yeah, this one has caught my eye. I like what they did with Pirates of Maracaibo, which I like more than Maracaibo, and so different co-designers on this one, but I like this idea of taking a crunchy big game and making it a little bit more approachable, and it just kind of, they've had good success with these in the past, so I'm hoping Great Western Trail El Paso does the same. Number 8 is my only trick-taking game on this list. This is called Verdun. The internet jokes that when you reach about 35, you either have to get really into smoking meats or you have to get into World War II history. And I've chosen World War I. I really enjoy the history of World War. It's so fascinating, very depressing, bleak, but fascinating bit of history. This is a trick-taking game set in that background where you sometimes are going to have to, obviously, you lose tricks in a trick-taking game. 2-player, so 1v1, or 2 teams of 2 against each other. And some of the things that you're losing, are going to be directly helping your opponent in the battle here. So it sounds like it's got some interesting push-pull. I'm looking forward to learning more about it and seeing it come through. So Verdun, a trick-taking game by number 8. Number 7, Onoda. This is another historical game, and this is coming out from Salt and Pepper Games, who have done so many good historical games. They have a great line of solo games, and so this one is another solo-only game. I suppose you could sit down with someone, play cooperatively, but the idea that it's a solo game about the longest-serving Japanese soldier in World War II. This fellow Onoda was deep undercover guerrilla warfare, I believe in the Philippines, and he never surrendered. When Japan surrendered at the end of World War II, he continued to carry out guerrilla tactics and everything, survivalism, And it's a fascinating history. Unfortunately, people got hurt, but that still is kind of what makes this intriguing. They had to bring his superior officer out of retirement, fly him out to the island, and officially release him from duty because he did not believe the propaganda that Japan had surrendered at the end of World War II. So anyway, fascinating character in history, and what they've done with this game looks promising. I've been hearing good stuff. So anyway, number 7, Onoda from Salt and Pepper Games, and a new designer that I'm not familiar with. I'm excited to become a little bit more familiar with. Number 6 is from one of my favorite companies that had just really skyrocketed to the top, and a designer that I've been coming to appreciate and like more. This is Bitewing Games, Reiner Knizia. They pair well together, and this is Ego. We did a live stream of all 3 of the games from this Kickstarter campaign. I got to play Silos, which I enjoyed quite a bit, but Ego has really caught my eye. This idea of card set collection, kind of auctioning, kind of bidding to win a lot of things, to avoid a lot of penalties. It looks like it has a really interesting flow to it, and a lot of moments of excitement and tension. It's a very interactive looking game, so I'm excited about this one a lot. And like I said, Knizia has been growing in my estimation, and Bitewing has really shot up. So I trust that they'll actually deliver this one quite on time, which is why I'm confident enough to put it on my list. Number 5, another game that was previously kickstarted from another one of my favorite companies. This one is Skara Brae. This is from Garfield Games. It's Shem Phillips' design here, and this particular one, my goodness, it looks like a lot of resource management. There's a ton of resources, different custom-shaped wooden pieces that look great, and this interesting-looking card play. So I'm very fascinated what Shem's going to be doing with this one. I love this whole ancient anthology series. And this one and The Anarchy were kind of done together. The Anarchy being like the next step of Hadrian's Wall. Both of those I'm so looking forward to. But Skara Brae is the main one I'm kind of putting forward. That one's really caught my eye. I love this historical series that they've done. A lot of historical themes on my list, I notice. So number 5, Skara Brae. Number 4, so wildly different. This one is called The Ace of Spades. This is from Devere, small card game. The Devere small card games have not always impressed me, and by that I mean they usually have not impressed me. But they've come out with a couple of really good ones. The Lie, I think, was good. The Blind Business trading game was, I thought, quite good as well. This one looks so up my alley. You are in the Weird West, the Wild West, but with like demons and stuff, and you're playing poker kind of hands to. It sounds kind of roguelite-ish, you're just trying to battle through hordes of demons and enemies, and you take down Lord Killmeister, the big boss at the end. This has a ton of humor about rock and heavy metal history, and it sounds like an interesting card play. I like these little variations and riffs on poker. It almost sounds like it's going to be a little bit Balatro-ish, but you always keep a standard 52 deck of cards as your play thing. But as your device mechanism to play with, it sounds bad, but as you defeat monsters, they give you abilities and stuff. So it sounds like it's going to be really interesting. I love the look of it, the art, the humor. So yeah, number 4, the Ace of Spades. Number 3 is the biggest game on my list. This is Galactic Cruise. While this was previously kickstarted or game foundered or whatever it was, they have, as of November of last year, they have the MPS, or the Manufactured Physical Proofs samples. So that means that they are already underway with the print, and fulfillment should be happening early-ish, mid this year. So Galactic Cruise has always been described as like the Lacerda game that's not designed by Lacerda. You're running a space cruise ship business. It's very involved, a lot of worker placement, a lot of gears and stuff, but everyone who's played it, everyone who's demoed it says that it's wildly smooth despite its complexity. It is just fast-paced moving despite its game length, and that's stuff that I love hearing in my bigger, more epic, heavy games. So I'm incredibly excited about this. If you didn't back it, it'll definitely be available through All Play is doing the distribution, so you can go to their web store. So yeah, Galactic Cruise looks great, and it'll definitely be more generally available too, even outside of the crowdfunding campaign. Speaking of, actually that's going to be very similar for my number 2 and my number 1. Number 2, I'm going back to Bitewing Games, going back to Reiner Knizia. This one is Icor, or Icor. This is so they started a 2-player line of games. I love two-player small box games just like this. And this one is an interesting, it looks like it takes place on a chessboard. You have different monsters and deities. You move them, and you're trying to, as you move them in paths, you get to lay out these pieces, these little discs. And the whole point of the game is to put out all of your discs. It is incredibly simple. It's incredibly smooth. But all of these little monsters have these powers that really shake up the game. And it's the perfect kind of one where you can just play a lineup, switch sides, and play against the other and see who gets most points out there. Oh my gosh, this game I got a quick demo of it, and I thought it was incredibly good, and it already fits a niche that I already enjoy, these small, quick two-player games. Looks gorgeous. Bitewing Games' production is unparalleled. It's so good. And the attention they put into a small box like this, it looks so neat. So yeah, Knizia's Icor, from Bitewing Games, my number 2. My number 1 is the other game in this two-player series they kickstarted together, and that's Iliad. Also Bitewing, also Knizia. This one is very similar. People say if you like Blitzkrieg or if you like Caesar, like the Polymori two-player games, this is going to be like that. It's going to be just head-to-head. You play pieces out onto this little grid, and it affects the pieces next to you. If you've ever played Final Fantasy VIII, it's kind of like the triple triad card game, actually. But oh my goodness, man, this is so intriguing to me as just someone who loves two-player games like this. I love exactly this type of thing. Small rule set, a lot of depth, a little bit of that tile draw. Blitzkrieg and Caesar are some of my favorite two-player games. This one is going to fit right in that same niche, so it's my number 1 most anticipated game this year. It truly is. So yeah, number 1 and 2, both from the same series, but that's because Bitewing's been on a roll. So anyway, that's it. That's going to do it for me. Those are the 10 I'm looking forward to most. Mike and other people have done this list already, so make sure to go look at theirs. There's many of those that I agree with, but I'm limited to 10 slots, so these are the 10 that I picked. Comment below, of course, what do you think that might be missing from my list, or any particular recommendations you have for me, knowing my tastes. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. My name's Chris Yee. Y'all take care.
Hey folks, thanks for watching another one of our videos. If you like our videos, if you like our channel, if you would love to game with us at one of our conventions, check out Dice Tower Cruise, Dice Tower East, and Dice Tower West. Fantastic conventions where we play games with wonderful people, a humongous library, and lots of other events and stuff. Also, don't forget to check out our channel, like and subscribe. I'm Tom Bassel.